everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be testing out a product for you guys because I know you've been loving all of the testing videos recently. So today I'm going to be trying out this Juno & Co Microfiber Fusion Sponge. So I was really kindly sent this by Juno & Co and I just said I would create a video testing it out for you guys. And I'm really excited because I've never heard of a microfiber like beauty blender, so I'm really intrigued to see how this is going to go. And also the one and only Nikki Tutorials reviewed, I don't think it was this sponge, I think it was their velvet version, but she literally fell in love with it and I was like, oh my god, like if that one was good, I'm sure this one is just as good. So let me just open this up. So in the little packet you basically get the sponge, which feels so crazy, and then you also get like a little information thing. So basically what it says is that you can wet it to use it for liquid foundations, concealers and contouring, and then you can actually use it dry to use it for loose powders, blusher and highlighters. So I have another one here so I can use one wet and one dry. So what I will be doing today is using it to apply my foundation, concealer, and then I'll go on to do all the dry products like the powders and the highlighters and blushes and all of that stuff. So what I can say about this sponge is it's literally like fuzzy and like velvet feeling. This isn't the velvet one, this is the Microfiber Fusion sponge, but it still feels like it's velvet. Yeah, and it's just like not like a usual sponge. It feels really weird actually. So as you can see, you have like the rounded end and then you have this flat area and then this kind of pointy bit up here, which I love because you can use all the different sides for different things. So this sponge retails at $6, which I think is super affordable and amazing for a beauty sponge, considering the beauty blenders are literally like $20. Like, it's ridiculous. So that is basically what this is. I'm now going to go ahead and go and wet this and see how it changes. I'm really intrigued as to see if it gets bigger or what. So yeah, I'm just going to go wet this and I'll be right back. Right, okay, so I've gone up to go wet it and it's definitely got a lot bigger. It doesn't like feel that squidgy, it still feels quite hard, if that makes sense, but you can definitely like tell that it is damp. So yeah, before I start anything, I'm just going to moisturise my face. I can never say this product, but I'll link it down below for you guys. So I'm just going to apply some of this. I think I'm going to be taking my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This is in the shade number 4. It is quite pale, but I feel like I am very pale right now, so I'm hoping it will work. If it's not the right shade, then I'll just add something else afterwards. So I'm going to do what I'd usually do. So I'd usually just apply some directly onto my face, and then I'd go in with the sponge. So I guess I'm going to take the bottom of the sponge and just kind of start to dab this in. Oh my gosh, I actually don't know how the hell to describe this, but the finish of that is actually stunning. I have no idea how or why. I don't even know if you can see that properly, but like the finish of it is just so nice. It's so weird because obviously with a beauty blender it's a lot more like soft when you wet it, but with this one it still feels pretty hard, but it's still super easy to like do what you need to do, if that makes sense. I'm gonna add a bit more. One thing I can definitely say is it doesn't like soak up as much product as a usual beauty blender or a beauty sponge. It's basically just dispersing out the product rather than sucking most of it up. That is one of the main things I hate about beauty blenders. Like, I do use beauty blenders and I love them, but they do soak up a lot of product and it does waste your product a lot. Like, I find my foundations run out a lot more. This doesn't really soak it up as much. Like, it's giving me like a lot of full coverage, which I personally love. I don't know what it is, but it just like feels nice on my skin, if that makes sense. Like, I thought it was going to feel really gross because it's this like weird velvety fuzzy texture, but it feels so nice on my skin. I feel like it might be a bit pale, but I'll just use like bronzer to bronze myself up. Oh my gosh, I actually love this. I don't know what it is, but this just goes on so nicely. Like, my skin looks flawless right now, and it's barely taken any time to kind of blend it in. I feel like with a usual beauty sponge I spend so long trying to blend it out, but this has literally taken no time at all and it looks flawless. It pretty much looked flawless like the moment I started blending it out. Okay, for foundation, I bloody love that. I feel like I'll be using this every single time I apply foundation now because that just looks so nice. Okay, now moving on to concealer. I'm going to be taking my Tarte Shade Dip Concealer and taking it with my Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer in the shade Extra Fair, just because my Tarte one is running out, which is really sad. Right, I guess I'm going to take like up here maybe to blend this out. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Like, it literally doesn't take up any of the product. I do wish this had more of like a pointy edge to really get in here. It's kind of an awkward shape, that's the only thing I will say. But I'm pretty sure the one that Nikki Tutorials tested, which is the velvet one I think, does have that pointy edge if you are looking for that. I mean, it's not too bad, I've managed to do it. Okay, that is literally crazy. That looks so good. I'm just gonna apply some to my eyelids as well. So now I'm gonna take a loose powder to set all of this in place. Honestly, my skin looks completely airbrushed. Like, I can't even explain how incredible this looks right now. I'm gonna take the Wet Beauty Blender again. I'm gonna take the same side as I used the concealer. And I'm just gonna set this in place. Oh, by the way, I'm taking my Beauty Bakery powder. Again, that looks flawless. I always find with applying loose powder with a wet sponge is it does apply quite a lot of product, and I always kind of have to brush off a lot. But with this one, I've barely had to brush anything away. Like, it's put on the perfect amount of powder that I need. I'm just gonna use this to set my nose. Like, do you see that? There's literally no excess powder. Like, it's used the exact right amount that I need. Right, so I'm just going to go ahead and do my eyes and stuff, and then I can come back and use the other one to do my powder products. So I'm just going to go do my eyes off camera real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to open up another one. They sent me like so many of these, so I've actually put one in my 10k giveaway, which should already be on my channel. So if you're interested in entering, go to the last video, I'm pretty sure it will be up. So I have it now dried. I'm going to be taking my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette, and I'm going to be taking the bronzer from in here. I don't know what I'm doing. So I guess I just kind of get some on the sponge. Oh, that looks intimidating. I'm just going to kind of do the same motion as I would if it was foundation. Oh my gosh, I love that. That has made such a precise line. I was not expecting that, considering it's such a like not precise sponge. I love that. Obviously I think you'd have to build it up quite a bit if you wanted like a really strong contour. I only really use this for bronzer, so I think I'm going to go in with a contouring product afterwards. Oh. Have I messed it up? We shall see. Oh my gosh, this works so well. Look at that. Like, when you first put it on, it's like, oh. But if you just keep on kind of bouncing around, it really starts to look so nicely blended out. I love this. Right, I'm going to try my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. This is my favourite contouring palette, so hopefully this will work. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit because this is like very intense. This is very intense. I feel like I may have added too much. I don't know, actually, that looks alright. I can't believe how precise it looks. Like, you'd think it wouldn't be precise at all, but it really like chisels out your cheekbones without having to do anything. I love that. I'm not going to use that on my forehead because I feel like that will just ruin the entire look. Next, I'm going to try some blush. I'm going to be taking the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. This is one of my favourite blushes. I guess I'll just take this kind of area. Oh, that looks scary. Okay, I'm not loving it for blush. It's not very precise. It kind of goes a bit everywhere. But to be honest, I wasn't expecting it to work out for blush, just because I like to go quite subtle with my blush, and I think with a sponge that's always going to be difficult. And then lastly, I'm going to take some highlights. This is the Milani Instant Glow Powder in the shade Afterglow. And I'm going to take the top bit right here. Oh my gosh, this actually works. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought this part of the video would be a fail. I thought it was gonna be super messy, super like not precise at all, and I would hate it, but it's fully working really nicely. As usual, I'm just gonna take some highlight on my brow bones and inner corners. And then lastly, just going to do my lips. So I'm going to be taking my NYX Retractable Lip Liner in Nude. And I'm just going to take my MAC matte lipstick in Velvet Teddy. This is one of my favourites from MAC. So guys, this is basically the finished look. I am so impressed by this product. Honestly, I did not expect to love a product this much, especially a product that's like this. Overall, I do prefer how it works for the cream and liquid products rather than the powder products. I will 1000% be using this for my liquid products like my foundation, concealer, etc. all the time now. Like, I cannot tell you guys how airbrushed my skin looked. It was insane. I did like it for my bronzer and my highlighter, didn't like it as much for my blush, so it definitely does work for powder products. I feel like they can definitely like market it for that because it definitely does. However, I think I would stick to using brushes for that part of my makeup just because, I don't know, I'm used to using brushes to do that and it's just kind of like the way I've learned how to do makeup. But it's nice to know that it does work for powder products if I ever wanted to. As usual, I will link it down below for you guys if you are interested and want to go buy. Thank you so much again for Juno & Co for sending me this product. I am fully obsessed with it and I'm literally going to be using it every single day, not even lying. If you guys did enjoy this video, please remember to give me a big thumbs up as usual so I know you did enjoy it. Also remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave me any video requests down below or other crazy products that you want me to test out and I'll make sure to do that for you guys. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day and I will see you in my next video.